back to my channel. Happy Friday. Today I am here to talk to you all about my most recent finish, which is this adorable new release from diamonddartclub. This one came out during their 7th anniversary sale, which at this point was maybe 3 weekends ago, and I love it. If you saw my unboxing for this one, I was very excited that I was able to snag this one. I do believe that it has since sold out, so if it's a kit that you are looking for, I would recommend signing up for email notifications for when it restocks. But this kit is absolutely adorable. It is called Otter Friends. It's by the artist ErikatheGoober. It's a 55.6 by 70.7 centimeter round drill canvas. It has 60 colors with 2 ABs and 4, let me see, 1, 2, 3, so 2 ABs and 5 fairy dust drills. And this kit was so quick to work on. I started this one on June 15th. I finished it on June 23rd, but I took off, I want to say 2 or 3 days of diamond painting while I was working on this one. So it didn't take me that full amount. It probably took me closer to like 4.5 to 5 days. And that's because there was so much color blocking. This diamond painting is full of color blocking. I start at the bottom right hand corner of my canvases. So for me, working from the bottom up with the image right side up, I should say, it flew by. There was just so much color blocking. I will go ahead and pop up a full-length image for you guys here so you can see what it looks like from a distance. But this kit is adorable and it brought me so much joy to work on. It wasn't perfect, so I'll start with the things that maybe I didn't love so much. The canvas adhesive wasn't great. It also wasn't the worst that I've worked with. I did struggle with getting drills off of my pen at times, and when I show you guys my accessories, I'll show you that I actually had a second pen loaded with just pink wax because I was struggling so much with the adhesive in areas. It wasn't the whole canvas that I had problems with the glue, but it was more just like certain spots, kind of like maybe the glue wasn't applied evenly or like distributed evenly. I don't really know how all of that works, so I can't tell you what happened, but it just seemed to be some small areas that ended up not having very much glue. I don't have the diamondart adhesive. I'm sure if I did, I very much easily could have fixed that for myself. It wasn't enough to deter me from working on the kit. I was still completing like such a large section each night because I just didn't want to stop working on it. So I feel like that says something about the diamond painting. Even though there were maybe some things that I would have improved, it was still such a fun kit to work on that I was still working on it a lot. I feel like that's usually a good gauge for me of how much I'm enjoying a diamond painting is when I don't want to stop. There was one night, I think it might have been last Wednesday evening, that I completed an entire row of this kit in one night just because it was moving so fast. I was loving the colors. I was loving working on it, and that's usually a good indicator of how much I'm enjoying a kit. As far as the diamond painting itself, I didn't have any other issues. It was really just the adhesive that was kind of stuck in my brain. There were a couple of colors in the rendering that I was, maybe questioning a little bit, but after working on, I think this is my 3rd ErikatheGoober. I can't remember for sure, but after myself working on 1 or 2 kits from her and seeing others work on them, the way that her artwork is, it's that very cutesy vibe. So if you look at the original image, you can see on her face, she kind of has that like blushy type shade thing going on her face. And I would say that's probably not the easiest thing to render in a diamond painting. So I do think that certain areas of the colors on her skin are maybe a little splotchy, like they don't blend as well as I would have liked, but for me personally, it doesn't take away from the final image, especially when you pull away. I think that the colors look a little less splotchy when you pull away, but it was something that I noticed. Otherwise, all the other colors and, you know, DMC choices and rendering, I think was fantastic. It was just a little bit of her skin tone that kind of threw me a little bit. But then again, when you look at the image, you can see that there are some kind of like ready colors in the skin tone that the artist did. So really the only thing rendering wise that I didn't love, I think the otter turned out so cute, and the little like flower crown that she's putting on the head, even the little background otters that are kind of like blurred out in the original image, I think they came out really well. I loved the ABs and fairy dust placement in the mermaid tail. I think that they really kind of helped to bring across the like scale type texture, I guess is the word I'm looking for. And I think that that just turned out really well. I love all the colors. Honestly, this color palette I think is my favorite of the year so far. I don't know for certain if I would call this my favorite kit of the year so far. It's definitely up there, and I could see myself in our next favorite kits of the year so far video. Like I could see this making really up there to the top. I don't know for sure. We'll see how the next couple of months play out, but this just is adorable and I love it so much. The only other thing, I don't want to say that I had a problem with, but the only other thing that I definitely took note of was the trash drills. Now this canvas, like I mentioned, is a 55.6 by 70.7. So it's a fairly large canvas, and when I show you the trash, I feel like it's kind of going to be like, well, that's not much for that size canvas. And it's not, but it's a lot of the same color. So I had a lot of issues with the pink, one of the pink shades. There's just a bunch of that same color that had holes in the top of all of the drills. There were some that had like extra little pieces. Nothing crazy. There's a cat hair in here. Nothing crazy, but it was definitely something that I was taking note of as I was working on the diamond painting. Especially when I was working with that pink color. Unfortunately, I forgot to write the DMC down, so I can't believe I did that. Sorry about that, but I can't tell you which pink it was, but hopefully by the tray you can see that it was mostly one shade of pink that gave me a lot of issues. Other than that, my kind of general rule for trash drills is, did I have enough to complete the diamond painting? And I did. I did not run out of any color, which is great. Obviously, I've been diamond painting for a while. I do have a decent amount of extra drills, but anytime I don't have to go digging through that is great. So I was happy that even though I did have that issue with that particular pink shade, that I was still able to finish the kit without issue. So all in all, in terms of this particular diamond painting, it's adorable. If you picked this one up, work on it. You will really love working on it, especially if you're a multi-placer. Maybe you've been working on some really big confetti pieces or even like square drill kits. If you need like a little palette cleanser, this one, it was great. I loved it so much. For the record, I did buy this kit. This was part of my order for the Diamond Art Club 7th anniversary sale. I did have a gift card that I used for part of my order, but I did pick this one and purchase this one by myself. I always want to be upfront with you guys about that. If I'm working on a kit that was sent to me by Diamond Art Club, I let you know, but it's very important to me that my reviews are equal across the board, whether the kit was sent to me or not. That is something that I have built my channel on and pride myself on. So hopefully those of you that have been here for a while, you know that. But isn't it so cute? Oh my gosh, I love it so much. I know not everybody is into like the cutesy art style. I'm not necessarily into like the mermaids, but this one was a must buy for me and it's adorable. Let's talk about my accessories for this kit. I actually ran out of the washi tape that I used. I think I have another roll in my washi storage, but this is a really pretty seashell tape from Amanda Michelle Designs. The colors just matched perfectly. My tray is from JH Envision Labs. This one actually has my name on it. This was one of the first trays that I ever purchased, like accessories that I ever purchased for diamond paintings. I got this one, and I have a pink one that says Laura Ann, which is my middle name. And I think it's so fun that I'm like still using, that I'm still using it and throwing it all these years later. So really do enjoy JH Envision Labs. I have a bunch of their trays in all of their different styles. My pen was a little bit of an out there choice. I actually had a different pen in mind, but the colors weren't as perfect as they were in my brain. So I was looking through my pen collection and I picked this one based on the colors. So we have the pink flower, which I thought, you know, pink tail. And then we have the yellow and green, like longer leafy flowers, which I thought if we were thinking outside the box, maybe they could represent the seaweed that you see in the background. Like we have this lime green, yellowy shade. So I went for it. I love this pen. This is one of my favorite ones in my collection. This is a, sorry, I should not be using my Band-Aid fingers. This is from the Flower Girl Blank company, and then it was turned by Jim's Handmade Pen Shop. Love this one. It is absolutely a favorite. For my putty, I used Viva La Juicy from Excuse Me Designs. I didn't really have, I don't know, I didn't have like quote unquote the perfect putty. You guys know I take my accessories very seriously, but this one just kind of, I don't know, it kind of fit. I don't know why, it just did. And then my cover minder, I believe, is from Galloway's Gallery. I have a collection of a few Otter minders, and I thought this one was cute because she has the flowers in her hair. And then the other pen that I mentioned that I kept loaded with regular wax is this one. This is from Cocoon Blanks. It was turned by O'Brien Custom Turning. This is one of the two pens that I thought was like a perfect match for this kit, but you can see it's a little too green and a little too orange, so I ended up just using it with a 7-placer for those pesky drills that I couldn't get to stick to the canvas. So, and my containers were from Harbor Freight. I do believe Harbor Freight has discontinued these, but I think you can find something comparable on Amazon. So I'll go ahead and pop up one more full-length image for you guys here. Let me know what you think about this kit. I think I've got my point across. It is adorable. I really loved working on it. The color blocking was amazing. The color palette was great. And I think the finished result is really, really nice. So that's going to do it for today's video. I hope that you enjoyed this post review. Thank you so much for watching. I hope everybody has a great weekend, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!